Is that your?
So keep it moving.
Keep what moving?
Yeah, I don't know. Keep it moving.
Your gastrointestinal system.
What's up, everybody? Jason from Jason's Exotic Reptiles. I'm here at New England Reptile Distributors with my man Kevin McCurley. We're going to talk about some Emerald Tree Boas, Amazon Basin Tree Boas, and just kind of get into a bunch of really cool questions related to these animals here. Right here, I have, is this an Amazon Basin in my hand?
That's an Amazon Basin.
Look at the white stripe on that. And what do you have?
This is a northern. This is probably, it's an anomaly. I don't know if it's genetic. I'm just going to call this like granite, but this is a northern.
And this has to be one of the most, this is definitely the most extensive collection of tree boas or Amazon tree boas that I've ever seen. But we're going to talk about that in a little bit. I want to ask Kevin some softballs, maybe some complex questions. We're going to get into some of these cages that are absolutely insane looking. So question number one, Kevin, what is the primary difference between an Emerald Tree Boa, an Amazon Basin, and a Northern? So I have a Basin, you have a Northern right there, right?
So Northerns, we would typically source these from Guyana and Suriname, whereas Amazon Basins are captive born, and these come from Brazil, Peru. I think they're indigenous to Colombia and whatever. But this stuff is largely just captive born. A lot of it comes out of Europe. Like a lot of my original animals sourced out of Europe as various different stages and sizes and stuff like that. Whereas my Northerns largely came out of the wild. Even this is wild caught right here. And so Northerns from Suriname and Guyana are typically the ones that we're seeing on the market that we're often stupidly paying $350 for, and we're just buying straight wild caughts. And often we fail with them because Northerns are generally, they're very problematic. And a lot of times, there's a couple different things what the problem is. It's our husbandry, it's our food, and it's also maybe the original quality of the animal when we got it. But I'd probably say most often it's our methodology. So how are we taking care of it? How are we doing our husbandry? So Northerns, the cheap ones, are not very forgiving of husbandry flaws, whereas an Amazon Basin is a little bit more sturdy for what we would consider. They're more tolerant of larger food items and temperatures. Let me put this one away and I can kind of use my brain a little bit.
Yeah, and that goes to one of my other questions. You kind of tapped into it, is what are the differences in care? I mean, I've had Emerald Tree Boas in the past. I had the Northerns, the cheaper ones. They were wild caught, and I did not have good success with them. I set them up with really cool caging. I actually saw how you did it, how Kevin did it, and I was not very successul with the husbandry of them. They would regurgitate food even when I was feeding small meals. So what's the trick of acquiring a wild caught Northern?
Okay, so even a captive born emerald can puke. I still have a couple. I have some Northerns that get persnickety. So a couple things that I've learned about Northerns versus Amazon Basins. If I keep my Northerns cooler, ambient temperature to be 76, 78 degrees with a hot spot, 85 to 88, 90. And those can often thrive. If I keep my basins, I can keep the ambient 78, 82, but my hot spot can go up to 95. And they will just sit under there, and I use the old temp gun to study this. And I temp gun them all the time. And 95 degrees, an Amazon Basin will sit there and bask. But if I let a Northern Emerald bask at 95, they'll do it. And guess what they like to do? They like to throw up. Okay. So if I keep them cooler, it seems to definitely help. So another big, huge problem with Emerald Tree Boas, we don't hydrate them enough. We are not giving them access to enough water. We're putting water dishes in the cages and we're going, okay, there's your water dish. I'll spray you a little bit. I tend to spray the heck. Like you see right now, we have misting systems going on.
Yeah, we'll take a look at the cages.
I'll turn this on.
Pretty awesome.
Maybe, 2 to 4 times a day for a little spray the cage. I have positive air pressure in the cages, so the cages all dry out. I mean, it's amazing how much they will just completely dry out, bone dry, still good ambient, 70% humidity or whatever it is. but it probably goes up to like 95% humidity, as you can tell.
It's as I'm standing next to this cage, it's humid, and they have a reputation of being mean, but this one is wonderful.
My emeralds, I'll pull out northerns too. I make friends. Everybody knows that's what I do.
Yeah,
I make friends.
Kevin is the socialization pro.
Here's this female. She wants to eat. All she wants to do right now is eat.
I'm gonna stand away from her because she looks like she wants to eat and bite, and she has a big head.
Hi.
So that's a northern, or this is
a basin.
Basin. Are basins generally calmer than northerns?
So basins tend to be calmer. They're also larger growing. So these guys can get bigger. These are the ones that, this is our bucket list snake. These are just like, oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. And so as I'm refining my collections and I'm reducing the animals that I'm keeping, I'm trying to focus on kind of like my bucket list animals. See, I have all these emeralds, but because I have so many animals, I'm not really good at like breeding them because I'm so distracted. So now I'm deciding, okay, I'm going to pick my bucket list animals and I'm going to start focusing. And it's not because I don't have the ability. It's because I'm struggling with the focus. Look at you. No.
So why don't we put some of these back, because I want to show off some of these cages, which are incredible looking, and just show the setup that you have going on, because this is a pretty legit setup. Let's put this girl back. Where's she go?
She goes right here. So see these? You can see that's an IMG. That's a really nice high white. That's a northern.
Are there morphs in Emerald Tree Boas?
Yep. This is an anaconda phase male. So it's patternless. And he's wired with testosterone right now.
He almost looks like a green tree python, the patternless.
See this little yellow belly? See, he's getting he's getting aggro. So he's throwing his coils because you don't keep male Emerald Tree Boas together. And he is full of frustration and testosterone.
Well, one thing that is factually correct about these is that they have ginormous teeth. Do northerns versus the basins, does one have a larger teeth than the other? I know one maybe has a bigger head.
Basins have huge teeth and northerns have huge teeth. So I'm going to pull out an IMG, so increasing melanin gene. This is hypermelanin. And if I pulled out, hold that. Pull out a green.
Kevin, this one doesn't look very friendly.
What do you mean?
I don't know.
Very friendly.
Kevin says, here, hold this. Just don't get bit.
Okay. I hold them like they're not going to bite me. Okay, you see hopefully you can see the difference.
That's a huge difference. Wow, she is beautiful.
So classic basin, that's bright green, right? And this has this active melanin, which I'm really excited about because I want to breed these back to each other. But this is pretty much, if you breed this to a normal, half of the babies, in theory, can come out with the darker. And this doesn't have to do with this being an old animal. Nothing to do with that. This animal is significantly older.
Price-wise, these aren't cheap.
Probably $4,000.
And babies turn out, so all of these babies, they all start red, essentially, right?
Yeah, orange.
Orange.
Yeah,
and then
so northerns and basins all start out orange and then just change. Isn't that really lovely?
That's a beautiful set of boas.
I want to work on that yellow. Can you see all that? What do you think of that, Jason?
That's wild. It's very different than something like this here. Just the two compared side by side are just drastically different. So now, what's the big difference between an Emerald Tree Boa and a green tree python?
So obviously, green tree pythons lay eggs. And green tree pythons are certainly smaller growing. They have enlarged teeth, but they don't have the enlarged teeth to the extent that an emerald does.
And then in terms of breeding, you're obviously breeding them here. That's the primary purpose other than keeping them for really cool enjoyment. But what is the average litter size?
7 to 11.
7 to 11. Let's take a look at these cages, because I think what Kevin has going on in the cages is pretty cool, where he has the positive airflow going and then also has the misting system going, and they're tipped towards the front. And it's just a cool setup. And Kevin designed and built all these cages, which I think is super cool.
Okay, so if you look at this system, right now I just happen to use a tub, and there's 9 perches in here. I have a 40-watt heat panel. I have a positive airflow right here. I have a misting system, which is actually a perch too, and it sprays. And I can move this around if I want. I can divert the air around. But I like this because this is constantly filling this water dish, and then I can dump it. I can go and sterilize it or whatever. I have an angled floor. Everything goes into a gutter right here and then goes to drain. And then I have, like, if you look in here.
Oh, that's a cool setup.
I can take that. So I introduce these two together. The male he can go right through there.
That's a cool setup. I like it.
So it's, I can pretty much adjust my temperatures down to 74 degrees. And I can go as hot as the room temperature is, and I just use cold water to
reduce their temps.
I drop their temperature. So now I come along with the temp gun. Let's find somebody sitting, because the heat panels are in the back. Okay, so this one's right by it. Okay, she's 74 degrees.
Yeah, and this room is definitely not 74 degrees. This is a warm room.
Right. That one's 78. So this gets up to like 95 degrees back here. Jason, put your hand. Can you reach? See if you can reach your hand up in there. If you touch that perch, can you the back one? But
no, I'm too short.
But it's
definitely warmer back there.
If I touch this perch.
Yeah, that back perch, 83 degrees.
It's only been on for a little while because they come on and off.
That's awesome. Hopefully you guys like checking out some of the most extensive Emerald Tree Boa collection that I've personally ever seen. If you're not subscribed, make sure to check out Kevin's YouTube channel, Instagram, Patreon, all that stuff. It's New England Reptile Distributors. Awesome content.
Or Evil Morph God.
On Instagram. And until next video, let's keep it moving.